We begin today with the news that another innocent civilian has become the victim of a U.S. drone strike in Yemen. The attack was thought to have been intended for suspected Islamist militants in the southeastern part of the country. However, it took the life of a farmer instead. Witnesses say the farmer had been walking home in the village of Al-Houta early Wednesday when he was abruptly killed by the shrapnel of two rockets. According to Reuters, a local government official has confirmed the report but has declined to give further details. This attack comes just a month after the massive drone strike killed at least 15 people traveling in a wedding convoy. Human rights organizations argue that there were no Islamic militants in that convoy and that only innocent civilians were targeted. These are just two of the most recent drone attacks that have contributed to a heightened concern amongst Yemenis and those in the international community over the CIA's controversial and classified drone warfare program. But this news comes just as Congress is trying to make it more difficult to bring transparency to the program. According to the Washington Post, Congress inserted a secret provision in a massive government spending bill introduced this week that keeps lethal counterterrorism operations under the umbrella of the CIA. While it's still unknown what is exactly in the provision, it allegedly prohibits funding from being used to transfer unmanned aircraft from the CIA to the Pentagon. Now, here to talk about these latest developments and the implications going forward, I'm joined by Naureen Shah, an advocacy advisor at Amnesty USA. Thanks for joining me, Naureen.
Thanks for having me.
So in 2013, there was a lot of buzz about the idea that the drone program could switch from the jurisdiction of the CIA to the Defense Department. President Obama himself really wanted to see this happen, yet here we are with this provision. What happened?
Bottom line is Congress is not invested enough in getting this program out of the hands of the CIA and out of the hands of a secretive agency. The Department of Defense runs a drone program, we think, in Yemen. The CIA has a drone program, we think, in Pakistan. But neither of these organizations is running the program with any kind of accountability to the public about potentially unlawful civilian casualties.
Sure. Well, the Pentagon does have some strong checks and balances that would certainly be more visible than the CIA, or so you would think. Do you think it's possible that Congress is really trying to keep this program in the dark?
I think there's certain members of Congress who don't see the need to end the secrecy of the program. But we're talking about using lethal force around the globe with drone technology and not telling either the international community or the American public what's going on, who's being killed.
Absolutely. And this is not only a funding issue. I mean, the provision allegedly could do more than just place restrictions on funding. What else could be in an appropriations bill that could determine how the drone program is controlled?
Well, the problem here is that we're talking about a classified annex. A lot of lawmakers didn't even know that this secret annex and this provision was going to be inserted into the appropriations bill. We haven't even seen debate in Congress about whether this is a good thing. So we've got Senator John McCain raising questions about it and why it was kept so secret. And fundamentally, that's what the program's all about. It's about operating and using lethal force around the world without informing anybody about what's going on.
And interestingly, it's not just President Obama who addressed some concern over this. Even the CIA Director John Brennan has specifically warned that the drone program in some ways is sort of diverting the CIA from its primary mission of intelligence gathering. Can you talk about sort of how the role of the CIA has really sort of changed over the years to take on this drone warfare program?
The CIA has a record of human rights abuses, whether it's torture or secret detention, and not only has it committed abuses, but it's tried to evade accountability for those abuses. So for us to put lethal force, that kind of power, in the hands of a secretive spy agency, it really raises some questions. Now, the military has also been really secretive about civilian casualties, hasn't been willing to say whether in these Yemen drone strikes civilians have died or whether it's investigated. Bottom line, the administration needs to commit to reform, and if Congress is getting in the way of that, then there's really a struggle that needs to be had, and the administration needs to push back.
Can the administration do anything at this point? I mean,
Certainly.
Can President Obama make a directive and, can he take sort of unilateral action on this?
President Obama can send people to the Hill to talk to members of Congress and get this straightened out. But what we haven't seen in the last 6 months is a real push from the administration to end the secrecy about drone strikes. It's hard to give away power once you take it, but that's fundamentally important to a program that's setting a precedent not only in the United States, but around the world.
Did we see a change at all after his speech that he gave, his very powerful speech in May of 2013 at the National Defense University. Was there a trend, going away from drone strikes, or did we see, what was the trend sort of when it comes to the drone warfare program after that?
There are fewer reported drone strikes since that May 2013 speech, but we don't actually know who's being killed in those strikes. And certainly the wedding drone strike of last month, where 15 people were killed, raises a lot of questions about whether the rules President Obama announced are actually being followed. And of course, it's incredibly hard to hold the administration accountable to its promises when it won't even tell us what's actually happening.
And we know that, the jurisdiction is probably likely to stay under the CIA. So like you were just mentioning right now, when we have these drone attacks abroad, such as the wedding convoy, isn't it just